That's kind of our hope is to like bring Eureka along to a better coffee experience.
So how is the coffee business? You were from Harbour Coffee and
Yeah,
Wine. For
Harbour
people
Coffee.
that don't know,
Yeah,
you and your wife started this.
yeah.
What was the thought process there?
Um, we so we lived in Reading for about 5 years, so both of us could go to college, and we can probably get into maybe our story a little bit later.
Yeah.
But we grew accustomed to a certain type of coffee that was available to us in Reading, and it's the specialty. We call it specialty or third wave coffee. It's just an elevated experience of coffee, and that's why we are Harbor Coffee and Wine, because it's actually an easy jump between it's people already understand the approach to wine, because wine you're smelling it, you're savoring it, you're tasting it, and then you're identifying different notes. And then the things that go into effect how wine tastes is the type of grape, where the grape is grown, the elevation of the grape, the surroundings of the grape. Like if there is like a forest fire near the area, that affects the taste of the grapes that were near that area. So like, oh, the environment around the grapes really affect, and then how they are harvested really affect the grape. So that's easy for people to understand because there's such a culture around understanding wine, and they're like people approach wine like that. But there's also the people that drink wine just to drink wine.
Yeah, you
They
buy a
like how it
$20
tastes.
box
Yeah,
wine. Yeah.
$2 check, and
Yep.
they enjoy it.
I think I fall into that category.
Yeah, yeah. So we have that same approach to coffee, and there's the specialty and third wave um, culture around coffee is we are we're really intentional about how it's roasted, the region in which it's grown, the environment, like the elevation, like everything, where the everything with the coffee is important, just like wine. So, and then our approach to coffee is we calculate everything. So if we're making you a shot of coffee, we're weighing out how much we put into the portafilter, and we're weighing that on a scale, and then we're actually weighing the shot that comes out.
Oh, so you
So
guys have it
it's
all. You have it all dialed in.
yeah, and then we aim for about 32 seconds of the process. So we time it and we weigh everything. So we're getting exactly the taste and the we call it a yield. We're getting the exact yield that we intend to get. And then we train all our baristas to approach it. And the fun thing about coffee is there's really there's many different ways to do it, and it's very fluid. So if you pull a shot for 33 seconds, or you could really do the exact same thing every time and get like it's never really tastes quite the same though. So it varies, but there's a by weighing and timing, you're getting a consistently good yield, but it also is
There's a little
different.
variation in
There's
there.
variations, and like we talked about earlier, like it's just fun
Yeah.
to do that. So
So when you guys are weighing it out like that, is that because that's the weight that you found? Okay, this tastes the best for
yeah,
me personally.
yeah, like 40 grams of coffee at 32 seconds. That's what we found. And then a few weeks later, we'll reevaluate. And if we're tasting it and it's got maybe a little on the sour side, we're like, okay, maybe we need to adjust our parameters, and we'll communicate that to our baristas and say, hey,
Hey, we need to change
we
this.
need to change this.
That's pretty
So,
intense. You're
yeah.
talking to a guy who I recently got a French press because I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. It was a Prime Day thing, so I was like, okay, why not?
Right.
And I'm just scooping,
Yeah.
spoonfuls of ground coffee in there.
Right.
It's Folgers,
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
super basic.
Yeah.
But that ties into what you were talking about, this wino idea of where people are like, oh, this is a 1932 Cabernet
Right.
from, Ireland.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, what? It's
Exactly.
got hints of
Yeah.
hints of chocolate and nutmeg, and you're like, oh, is this not just wine? What are we talking about here?
Right.
But that's where culture is kind of going, especially with coffee now.
Yeah.
More people are getting into that. This is. I want gourmet. I want that feeling.
Right.
I want the best coffee I can taste.
Exactly. And yeah, that's kind of our mission and goal, is to just bring people along to like good coffee. And just like we, in the specialty third wave world, they get offended if you put sugar in it, or like white mochas are just this big, like they
No,
hate
no.
that people get white mochas, or
So is it
the
just straight
and
black
it's
coffee?
so it's milk in coffee with a little bit of, like, if you want a sweetener, like a lot of they like the we we like to play with like more natural flavorings. Like my favorite drink to make is a honey lavender latte. It's not like super sweet, but there's subtle flavoring, and people love that one. Or I like using brown sugar in some of my lattes. But yeah, our coffee tastes really, really good black, so I always try to have our customers come in and try our black coffee, because there is actually flavor to it. It's not just burned. It tastes really good. So that's kind of our hope, is to like bring Eureka along to a better coffee experience. And that's our goal. And but we still offer the white mocha. We still offer the things that they're comfortable with, that they know. And if they're like, no, like we want, if they come and order a white mocha, we're not gonna,
So, I don't think you can be here anymore. We got to kick your ass out.
Exactly.
Is the white mocha and drinks like that to kind of just get customers in the door? So, hey, we've got the basics, but
Yeah.
when you're ready, we're gonna nudge you this way a little bit.
Exactly. And just the fact that our espresso is so intentional and just so dialed, your white mocha is just going to taste all the more better anyways. But we stand by the fact that it really doesn't need it, because it tastes good.
So this
and
whole oh no, continue.
even our size standards, people will come in and order a 16 ounce or like 20 ounce. We don't carry that. We carry 8 ounce and 12 ounce. And that's where we're not about, quantity. We're about the quality, and you can get just as much, if you want the caffeine, then you can just get just as much with a 12 ounce. And it's like you start to lose the flavor and the integrity of the coffee if you go any higher in size.
So you're trying to preserve that natural taste of the coffee. You don't want to just bury that in sugar.
No,
I think a lot of people do that. I was one of those people. I go to Starbucks and get a caramel frappuccino with whatever on top. And it's like, you're not drinking coffee.
Yeah.
You're just having sugar water.
Right.
Like
And I don't want to knock that. That's just
it's good. It's addicting.
Yeah, when people, to shout out, like Jitterbean or places locally, like people will want you to say like, oh, their coffee is not as good as yours, or like that. I don't get into that, because Jitterbean does what Jitterbean does well, and they do really, really well at it. And but we have totally different audiences and totally different like focuses and approaches to coffee, and that's totally okay with me. And so, where's I going with that? What were we talking about?
We're talking about it's not bad if you like that sugary coffee.
Oh yeah,
you can have that, and it's gonna be okay.
And it's a tasty treat. Like I'll go to Jitterbean, I'll go to Dutch Bros. People will see it in my hand and be like, "Don't you own a coffee shop?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But I enjoy this too." Like
and you're not making a rebel. Like that's not your niche.
No. Yeah. So we definitely we enjoy and love coffee. And like I'll have instant coffee every once in a while and really enjoy it. Like there's a taste to instant coffee that I just love. I don't know what it is, but it's tasty. So
that's a healthy perspective to have, right? You don't want to be a snob in your niche. People kind of slip into that. We're like, this is the only way to do it. And I almost feel a little blasphemous over here. I'm drinking a Starbucks canned coffee.
Right. Yeah.
But it's everything good in moderation,
Absolutely.